Do you seriously expect this search to be way home?
I don't know. It's better to be careful. I wrote a letter to Mr. Husak. Also some other things. So sometimes they follow me.
But you weren't worried about bringing the thesis with you?
No, if someone follows me, they want to know what books you bring me.
I see. Yes, all right, Hora. I'll bring it tomorrow.
Please, don't leave it in your room when you go to eat. Take your briefcase. So, perhaps you will come and meet my wife.
Yes. Should I telephone?
No, unfortunately, my telephone is removed. But I'm home all day, Saturday.
Oh, yes.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
I forgot. Welcome to Prague.
Morning. Mr. Crisp, my name's Anderson. I'm a very great admirer of yours.
Oh, so
good luck this afternoon.
thanks. Further uses of this in this place?
Yes, are you all staying in this hotel?
Yeah, Roy. It's waiting for you.
Good morning. Good luck this afternoon.
Right, thanks. You over for the match?
Yes. Well, partly. I've got my ticket.
You didn't pull it, then?
Oh, no chance.
Don't trust you, do they?
Probably right, aren't they? Remember Milan?
Oh, yeah. About a bloody time.
I see from yesterday's paper they brought in Jurasek for Tropek.
Yeah, that's right. 6'8", they say.
Well, he's not very good in the air. Alexis got lots of space. Oh, ground, please.
You've seen him, have you?
I've seen him twice. In the UFA Cup a few seasons ago. I happened to be in Berlin for the Hegel colloquium. Bun fight. And then last season I was in Bratislava to receive an honorary degree.
Tap his ankles for him. Teach him to be 6'8".
Leave off. You never know, do you?
Oh, yeah. Maybe the lift spouts.
He scored both times from the same move and came close twice more.
Oh, yeah.
Look, I realize it's none of my business. You may think I'm an absolute ass, but look, if Hallis takes a corner, he's going to make it short, almost certainly, and push it back to Demel or Kautsky, who pulls the defense out, and Jurasek hangs about for the chip to the far post. And they'll do the same thing from a set piece 3 or 4 times in the same match, really. Short corners and free kicks. Anyway, that's why they brought Jurasek back, in my opinion.
Morning. You got together then?
Colleague, Mr. McKendrick.
You're Crisp. Bill McKendrick. Here you're doing some very interesting work up in Newcastle. Great stuff. Still like to think of myself as a bit of a left-winger at Stoke. Mind you, my work is largely empirical. I leave epistemological questions to the scholastics, eh, Anderson?
McKendrick.
Did you say Stoke?
Yes, we met before, haven't we? Your face is familiar.
McKendrick.
Well, there's a choice of open forums tonight. Neo-Hegelians or Quinean neo-positivists. Which do you fancy? It's a pity Quine couldn't be here, isn't it? And Hegel, for that matter.
The confusion, which often arises from the ambiguity of ordinary language, raises special problems for a logical language. Now, this is especially so when the ambiguity is not casual and inadvertent, but when it is contrived. In fact, the limitations of a logical language are likely to appear when we ask ourselves whether it can accommodate a literature or whether poetry can be reduced to a logical language. It is here that deliberate ambiguity
It's a perfectly understandable mistake.
makes problems. Nor must we confuse ambiguity, furthermore, with mere synonymity. When we say that a politician ran for office, that is not an ambiguous statement.
I said
It's
I
really
knew
an
his
instance
face.
of a word having different applications.
Match for the day?
Literal, idiomatic, and so on. Now, the intent is clear in each application. The show ran well on Broadway. Native dancer ran well at Kentucky, and so on. And what about this word, well? Again, it is applied as a qualifier.
So, this
Very
pressing
intent.
engagement of yours is a football match.
The show
World Cup
ran
qualifiers,
for a
not
long
just a
time.
football match.
The horse ran fast, and so on. There's no problem here, as long as these variations are what I propose to call reliable. You eat well, says Mary to John. You cook well, says John to Mary. Now, we know that when Mary says you eat well, she does not mean that John eats skillfully. Just as we know that when John says you cook well, he does not mean that Mary cooks abundantly.
But I'm sorry
Now, I
about
say
missing
that
your
we,
paper, I really am.
We know this. But I mean only that our general experience indicates it. But it is the mark of a sound theory that it should take account not merely of the general experience, but also of the particular experience. And not merely of the particular experience, but of the unique experience. And not merely of the unique experience, but the hypothetical experience. And it is when we consider a world of possibilities, this hypothetical experience, that we get closer to ambiguity. You cook well, says John to Mary. You eat well, says Mary to John.
You ever wonder whether all
There's
this
no
is
problem
worthwhile?
No.
But I ask
I know what you mean.
to imagine a competition when what is being judged is table manners.
Les politesses de table. Jean entre dans son coin.
And afterwards Mary says, well, you certainly ate well. Now, Mary seems to be saying that John ate skillfully with refinement. Now, I ask you to imagine a competition where the amount of food eaten is taken into account, along with refinement of table manners. Now, Mary says to John, well, you didn't eat very well, but at least you ate well.
Vous avez mangé bien.
Clearly, there is no way of knowing whether Mary means that John ate abundantly, but clumsily, or that John ate frugally, but elegantly.
Oh, by the way,
Well, here we have a real
I've got you a copy of my paper.
ambiguity. Now, to
Oh,
restate
thank you very much.
Mary's sentence in a logical,
It's not a long paper. You could read it comfortably during half-time.
but this is to assume that Mary exists. Now, let us say that she's a fictitious character out of a story I've written. Very well, you say to me, the author, what did Mary mean? Well, I might reply, I don't know what she meant. Her ambiguity makes the necessary point of my story. And here I think the idea of a logical language, which can only be unambiguous, breaks down.
I'm going to make a discreet exit. I've got a call to make before the match.
Yes. Professor Anderson, I think.
I'd only like to offer Professor Stone the observation that language is not the only level of human communication, perhaps not the most important level. Whereof we cannot speak, thereof we are by no means silent.